Wizards fans, welcome back into District E, powered by Ticketmaster, following the introduction of the new direction of Monumental Basketball that includes the president, Michael Winger, who just sat down with Glenn Consor and myself, Wes Hall. Of course, Travis Slink involved with that. He'd be the Wizards Senior VP of Player Personnel. And we also got to hear from Will Dawkins, the new general manager of your Washington Wizards, a combined 66 years of basketball experience, Glenn Consor. Just asking you quickly, after sitting down and talking with Michael right there, what were your first impressions from what you heard from him?
Well, he's passionate.
Yeah.
And he's laser focused.
Yeah.
You know, you could just tell. And he wants to be here. You know, he wants this organization to be successful. And that, to me, is a big deal.
It is.
You know, for me, to have this kind of, injection of excitement and change is critical for this organization, and I think they found the right guy.
Glenn, one of the things I think, when we talk about change a lot, more oftentimes we spend a lot of time on the other side anticipating change or requiring change and saying we need to do X, Y, Z. And then, lo and behold, you get the day where you get what you've asked for. And today is that day where you see Michael Winger come in. He and Will have such a tremendous history together in OKC. We know what Michael's done with the big names that he had out in L.A. One of the things that Ted Leonsis said during the initial press conference was about being a major market and being competitive with those type of teams. So when you get a guy like Michael coming from the Clippers and knowing what he dealt with there, what type of confidence does it give you knowing that he's coming here and he's got to get on the other end of the phone with Kuz and KP and Brad?
Well, I think not only do I agree with Ted, but I think we all agree that there is no reason should not be, a major market, not only, from a wins and losses standpoint, but also from a free agent standpoint.
Right.
Why wouldn't this market, why wouldn't you want to come to the DMV, just like what we heard him say?
Yeah.
What we heard Mike say. Hey, I want to be here. I want to raise my family here. This should be a target for free agents. And
Indeed.
I think now what we're seeing, with this new, this new management team, I think, we're in that right direction to making this, a major place of destination for free agents.
Absolutely, and one of the things that I think is crucial to making this happen is the separation of powers, per se. When you have one person who's strictly player personnel, the other is general manager, and the other is president of basketball, it allows you to say we have multiple access points, multiple positions where we're able to pivot, we're able to engage players, whether it be veterans in the league, young players coming out of the draft, that when you're able to have these different conversations and say we are a collective monumental basketball.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, these guys also have a history of working together.
Yeah.
They know each
Like
other
us.
very well. Like us, yeah. It's the same thing. I mean, another buzzword that they all came up with in working with each other is collaboration. Collaboration between each other. I mean, they know, they all will all agree on points, on decisions. They got the draft coming up. June 29th is another important date, which is going to be, the free agent market. What do you do with existing contracts? To me, look, the draft is a draft, but that is going to be an interesting
That's going to be huge.
date where these three guys are going to have to collaborate to figure out what direction to go to.
Well, I think one of the main components to that is the fact that we all know this is a superstar-driven league.
Right.
Like, you have to have these small, limited amount of players that are available. And when you got guys like KP and Kuz who were able to put up tremendous numbers, remember last season, it's like 60 days ago, but when even Porzingis was saying this has been one of the best years of his career, one of the best experiences on and off the court.
Right.
You got the people that are in place to be able to embrace that and be able to say, hey, if you want to stay here, we'd love to have you. And I think that's something we could appreciate.
You know what was interesting to me during the press conference? You heard a lot of, well, are you going to blow it up? They probably getting asked that. Are you going to blow the whole thing up?
What are you going to do?
Michael Winger came from an organization where he had Kawhi Leonard and he had Paul George that he went after. So he understands the value of, building a team around stars.
Well, speaking about value and building a team around stars, why don't we welcome in the founder, president, and CEO of Monumental Sports, Ted Leonsis. First of all, Ted, thank you so much for joining us. What are your first impressions post the introduction of Michael Winger as your new president of basketball?
Well, I've gotten to know all the new hires very well over the last 30 days, and I think they're as advertised. They're very thoughtful. They love the game. They've had success everywhere they've been. And what's impressed me most is that they're identifying for me that what we're missing most is an identity. That we can talk about what the Mystics are all about, what the Capitals are all about, but we really need to build that. And we need to be an organization, a team that you don't want to play against. We don't have that anymore. And so, I don't want to look in a rearview mirror. I just want to look going forward, and told them whatever you need to make this successful, we will give you. Just tell us in a mindful, thoughtful way, what do you need to get us to be a great team?
You and I have talked over the years, and it's been many years, about giving this organization what they need to be successful, which your willingness has been really unparalleled with that. Now that you got these guys in place, this is an opportunity to make this place, and you've always said this, a destination for free agents. And when you look at the three men that you hired, they've had experience executing strategies to turn programs around. How important was that for you?
Well, they've built through all of the tools. OKC is not a destination, and they've drafted unbelievably well. Great players. But it's not just they drafted them, they developed them. And we need that throughout our program, that we identify and draft, and then we develop them. And then they've been able to go out through their careers and, manage superstar players. LeBron in Cleveland, Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City, Kawhi and
Paul George.
Paul George. I mean, and it's not only that they've been able to deal with the players. I mean, this world is about super agents.
Yes.
The agents, Andy Miller is here today. The agent community is really thoughtful, mindful. They know what's going on, and we have to